What's the deepest Wikipedia hole you've fallen into? Look up unsolved problems in physics. You'll be stuck for hours. I can't even figure out solved problems in physics. The stories behind people who have simply disappeared. My father-in-law refuses to let anyone else drive on our yearly vacation that winds about 6 hours through the mountains in West Virginia and Virginia, and every year I go down this hole and it's such an eerie topic to research while you're looking out the windows and seeing nothing but miles of trees and open space and start thinking about how utterly hopeless it could be to ever find someone who went missing somewhere like that. I also always think about how they build those massive electrical towers on some of these crazy, steep-looking cliffs. However they do it, I would imagine it's a truly nerve-wracking job. Dyatlov Pass Incident. Very interesting read and makes you think. I got stuck looking at the British royal lineage and how everyone is related to more well-known kings and queens, and ended up just reading about marriages and deaths for like 4 hours. I can relate to that. Once you start to look for European royalty and how they are related, you'll spend hours of useless clicking. The expression Queen Victoria is the grandmother of Europe is very true. Hey Arnold. I wanted to know if Helga ever confessed her love for Arnold. Turns out the writers created a spin-off for Helga. Apparently the show was too dark for Nickelodeon. The show dove into her family dynamics. Her mom is an alcoholic and her dad is emotionally abusive, so it went to MTV instead. Not sure if it ever made it to air. Anyway, Helga and Arnold ended up dating for a while. Helga eventually moved. That's where the new show picked up, but they continued the love and friendship mostly as pen pals. I love how Helga's mom being an alcoholic is too dark for Nickelodeon, but Rocco working at a phone sex hotline, Zim stuffing his body with human organs, and Plankton trying to commit suicide is all considered okay. None of those other three characters are human, for a start. And it's a good bet that some of the kids watching Nickelodeon actually have alcoholic parents. I used to like to go to a random article and then click the first link within the new article. Then repeat that process to see how many links it takes to get to the philosophy article. Most articles get there, and once there you're in a loop. I ended up on linguistics and got stuck in a loop. Unidentified decedents. In the US, there are thousands of them. Although some of the most interesting ones are actually overseas. People like the Isdal woman, Peter Bergman, Lyle Stevick, the Somerton Man, et al. Greater than the Somerton Man. This one has fascinated me for years. In school suspension, got access to a computer that particular day. Nearly 8 hours of random shit. My school's ISS required you to write a page of bullshit and complete all assignments from your teachers for the day. Failure to complete everything resulted in an additional day of ISS. But most of the time you're done with all that bullshit like 2 to 3 hours into the day, and the rest of the time you were supposed to read material of your choice. But you were in these little narrow cubicle things that almost enclosed you except for the back. So you just fuck around on your phone, since the teacher would have to get right up on you and look over your shoulder to see what you were doing. I wish we got computers with internet access. I was looking at cars, then car corporations. Then I got to Buick. There was something saying the last emperor of China liked Buicks. I thought they were talking about the last emperor of Japan for some reason. So I was confused why he would like an American car brand since they were enemies in WW2. I soon realized the error of my ways, but spent the next hour or so reading the desperately long article about the last emperor of China, plus some offshoots. I went from The Office to neo-Nazism in the United States, Beats, Bears, American History X, learning about Young Living CEO, Donald Gary Young. In the 80s, he received a $250 fine and probation for practicing medicine without a license. He offered childbirth services and claimed he could detect cancer with a blood test and treat the disease. In 2000, He opened the Young Living Life Research Clinic, where a clinic employee was charged by the Utah Attorney General for practicing medicine without a license and prescribing essential oil products to patients with various ailments. In 2005, they settled a lawsuit in which a patient claimed they were given infusions of vitamin C that caused near-fatal kidney failure. As of 2017, Young Living was reported to become one of the largest vendors of essential oil products in the USA. In 2014, the FDA issued a warning letter to the company involving their false claims and illegally marketing products unapproved by the FDA, claiming they cure Ebola, autism, Parkinson's, diabetes, dementia, and several other medical conditions. He stepped down in 2015 and his wife assumed the role of CEO. This company is still popular today as a multi-level marketing scheme and have been issued warnings involving their claims against the effectiveness of YL essential oils treating COVID. They claim to have over 3 million customers, while most of their sales revenue comes from Young Living sales consultants and not actual customers. Insane how these people are never in jail and are literal millionaires. You should go look at the DeVos and Prince family. There's so much shit that runs across multiple generations. Generations of those families should be in jail for all the deaths and suffering they've caused across multiple corners of society. If they all disappeared tomorrow, it would still take generations for society to recover from their actions. This was so long ago I barely remember her and IDK how to get back to it, but there was this murder from the 1800s that was practically a cold case. The organization the man worked for tried to sue the government to stop investigating in, but the government organization they tried to sue wasn't established until the 1900s. So everyone blamed time travelers and aliens. So, potentially, a man got away with murder and the case was still cold in 2010. Despite there was probably DNA evidence he did it, because he blamed an alien organization that invent time travel and only speak practically in a binary language. All because a bank printed a check-in document that said 1982 instead of 1829. Oh, and people believe that Area 51 is hiding the case files and that's why we have no confirmation it actually happened. I would like to add though, many people believe the whole case is a hoax. I really hope a random Redditor who knows WTF you're talking about comes and elaborates, because I am intrigued. One time I went from The Godfather to residential schools. I remember looking up about a film I just watched, I can't remember which, on Wikipedia, and it wasn't long before I read the procedures involved in Bin Laden's assassination. It was really quite an interesting and in-depth read. On the night before my 3 a.m. flight, I was up all night searching about proto-languages and shit. Creepy as fuck. How is that creepy? Look for yourself. What's so creepy about it? Can you give me a dumbed-down version of what that is? Dennis Rodman's page is a good place to start. Played for the Chicago Bulls. Dated Madonna. Spent time in North Korea. Just to start. Never gone down holes. But I like to play the Hitler game. Find a random article, then see how many moves it takes to find Hitler. My best is 2 clicks. Greater than 2 clicks. Do you remember the article you started on? Pretty sure it was a Japanese WW2 era naval vessel lol. That's ridiculously easy though. Click on WW2, and Hitler is undoubtedly going to be linked from that page. It would be impressive if you could do it in 2 clicks from a page completely unrelated to Hitler. Like Tooth Fairy, I did it in 3. Maybe someone can beat me. Yay, but it's all rondo monsieur. I hear that you can always make it in 5 moves. All wiki articles lead to Hitler. Tried this and got a 2-clicker. But I got lucky as hell. Random article lead to Maria Koppenhofer, a German film actress. Click Germany. 1. Find Hitler. 2. Unless that, are we counting random article as a click in and of itself? Nope, random is just your start point. Nice too. My wife has curly hair. One night she was fretting about losing hair as she was looking over the hair tie she has just removed. Relax, I said. It's not like you're gonna end up with a curly fine. Who? Quote. Now I know all about the Stooges. The Marx Brothers. Harold Lloyd. You knucklehead. Woob woob woob. Spins in circles on the ground. Definitely serial killer. Wikipedia. Fiberglass. My best friend had a 1968 Corvette with bad damage and a fiberglass boat with a lot of damage. I learned a lot, and was able to repair both. That was fun. You were a hell of a friend. And you learned to do that from reading the Wikipedia article? Wanted to see if someone had made a flaming drink called a Molotov cocktail. A few links and couple of hours later I'm reading about how some Jews were going to receive the Iron Cross, which was Nazi Germany's highest medal of honor at the time. However, I still don't know if there's a flaming drink called a Molotov cocktail. If I recall correctly, the wiki hole went like this. Molotov cocktail. De Molotov, the politician for which the weapon was named. The breadbasket incendiary bomb. The joke was the drink was to go with the bread. To the Winter War, to Finland joining the Axis power, to Finland's treatment of Jews during World War II, to Finnish Jews getting awarded but declining. Not much of a surprise. The Iron Cross. Reading Robert Downey Jr.'s criminal record. I literally got tired of reading it and didn't even make it to the bottom. I'm an 80s kid, so I grew up watching him spiral down. Everyone thought he was a dead man walking. Basically, but he turned that shit around somehow. All the crazy superheroes and different teams, there are so many. I did it a couple times, just diving in and seeing where it took me. Oh, I've been there. No clue about all time, but yesterday I looked up something about Rob Zombie and eventually worked my way to reading about Richard Ramirez's multiple killings. Freaky stuff. I hate horror films, lol. I'm a complete wimp and have been scared of the dark most of my life and have anxiety, so they just exacerbate that. Jump scares are just not my thing. So what I like to do instead is read the detailed wiki synopses of certain films so I know the whole storylines. That's like I've seen the film, lol. I can do this for hours. Serial killers. You can get lost in all that for days on end. It's like YouTube, only worse. Doing research on the history, cooking methods and ingredients for a full Irish breakfast, which demands research into the full English, which demands research into black and white puddings and the differences in breads to be fried, etc. It was like 7 hours of reading. Just start on the LDS Church and you can go for hours. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.